Hello there and welcome. Those of us with type 2 and type 3A, even 3B hair, we're always looking for a way to extend our curls for more days. You know what I mean. It takes a lot of effort to wash and style your hair, and so you want it to last for as many days as possible. I wanted to know if there are any ingredients in hair products that are correlated with having your curls last for more days. I did a little data mining on Instagram and Reddit. I looked up posts where people said that their hair was lasting for multiple days and looked to see what products they were using. I then looked to see what ingredients were in those products. I also, for control, went and looked up posts where people were having trouble getting their hair to last more than one day, looked to see what ingredients were in the products that they were using. If you're into science and statistics, this is called a retrospective case control analysis, by the way. I did some statistics then to figure out if there are any ingredients correlated with having curls that last for 3 or more days. For this type of study, there are a few inherent biases. I was limited in the type of data I could collect by who was posting it online. And anyone with curly hair can tell you the weather plays a big role in whether or not your products work, and so do other things like whether or not you've clarified. I can't control for all those things, but this was just meant to be for fun. So, if you have type 2 or 3A or 3B hair and you want to extend your wash days as long as possible, you might want to look into polyquats. I found that polyquats were the most highly correlated with curls lasting longer. I also found that products with some oils were correlated with the curls lasting for longer, probably because they help lock in moisture, keep your hair from getting dried out for all those days. And then I found that having 2 or more polyquats in your regimen of leave-in, hair cream, and hair gel is correlated with longer lasting curls. And also having 2 or more film-forming synthetic polymers also correlated with longer lasting curls. The synthetic film-forming polymers include polyquats, but also things like acrylates copolymer, anything acrylates, VP, VA copolymer, PVP, things like that. I thought that this was interesting, so I did a second study where I looked at people on Instagram. I looked for a post where they talked about having curls that were lasting for longer than 3 days, and then I looked for a post where that same person talked about having a bad wash day or a wash day that only lasted 1 day. I looked to see what products they were using and what ingredients were in those products. And I did that for 15 different cases. This is called a case-matched case control study. And I wanted to see if I got the same results. And I pretty much did. Polyquats, again, were the most highly correlated with curls that last longer. In this case, protein was also correlated with curls that last longer, and also having some natural ingredients in your products. Having some natural ingredients in your products seemed to go along with having higher end products. So my little study seems to indicate that having polyquats in your hair products is correlated with having curls that last longer. Also, it seems that you want a good balance of protein and also some oils to lock in that moisture so your hair doesn't dry out after 1 day. Having more than one synthetic hold agent seems to also help. These are all things that bloggers and Instagrammers and YouTubers have been saying, and it's borne out by my little experiment. If you are scientifically minded and are interested in the details of my study, here are some of the details. I included in my study people with hair types 2B to 3B, and for the cases, these were all people who posted a picture of day 3 or longer hair, listing all the products they used and showing that they had great results, compared to controls where people complained about having day 1 hair that wasn't going to last. The number of people in my first study on Reddit and Instagram, I had 27 cases with 14 controls. And for my case match study on Instagram, I had 15 cases where I compared one person's long-lasting curls with one person's curls that didn't last as long. This chart shows all the factors that I looked at to see which ones were associated with curl longevity. I did a chi-square analysis, and any factor here that has a chi-square value greater than 1 is associated with curl longevity. The higher the chi-square value, the greater the association. And then, of course, only those with the asterisk above the bar graph are actually statistically significant. An interesting thought here is that glycerin, which is an ingredient that is problematic for some people depending on the weather, was not associated with increased curl longevity or with failed wash days. This is the data from the first experiment where protein appears to be associated with increased curl longevity, but it wasn't statistically significant. But in the second experiment, it was statistically significant. All right, well, thank you for watching and stay curly.